that I'm always just looking at. Oh my goodness, Elfie. It's been a while. Or has it? When am I filming this? You don't know. I don't know. Oh my goodness. So this is what you guys look like. Hey, say hello to yourselves. And this is what Elfie's doing right now. Because she's pathetic. Pathetic. Elfie, wave? No? Hello cinnamon buns, it's time for another video. This time we're going to be speaking about how to NaNoWriMo like a career novelist. NaNoWriMo is this big, awesome, shared creative experiment endeavour. It is what you make it. Some people just want to write. They want to write for its own sake because they like it, to see if they can do it, and that is awesome. Have a blast. Good luck. I'm with you. But some of us actually want to publish after we write these nano books, and we want to be smart about the way we write. And NaNoWriMo by itself isn't going to show us how to do that. I'm coming at NaNoWriMo from the point of view of, this is a tool that I want to use to get myself a good draft and help me on my way to publishing my book. And because that's not the goal of NaNoWriMo as a whole, I'm going to have to set a few extra rules for myself to keep me on track. If you would like to join me in that, then these tips will probably help you. So I want to create a really solid, usable draft from NaNoWriMo. And now, I don't mean a pretty draft, I mean a good draft. So that it has to contain the real meat of the story, it has to be a really solid foundation that I can build on, and it has to not need to be torn absolutely to shreds and rebuilt from the ground up. So let's get into the tips. So tip number 1, outline beforehand. I know. The word pantser has become an integral part of the NaNoWriMo lexicon. I'm gonna have a video on pantsing versus plotting. It might already be out by now because I haven't decided which order I'm gonna put these out in. There's gonna be a link below, you should go check it out if you are resistant to this step. And yes, I know, outlining is intimidating. It seems like a lot of work. But you know what was also a lot of work? Trying to fix an absolute train wreck of a 60,000 word draft when you could have just planned a little first and ended up with a much cleaner draft. Do you know when you write slowest? When you don't know what's going to happen because you can't put into words something you don't know. And when you know what does have to happen, then you can write fast. It's pretty simple. NaNoWriMo is about writing a fast draft, so the more that you know has to happen beforehand, the faster you're going to be able to write it, surely. Things are a little more complicated than that. It doesn't always work out that way, but in general, you know, your outline can take absolutely any form which works for you. I personally have a video on outlining. I will link it below, and I'm going to have a couple of resources for other ways to outline as well. You don't have to outline in any specific way, just make sure that you have something. Tip number 2, do word sprint, but don't cheat. Word sprints are awesome. They're a really great way to get yourself writing a lot faster. If maybe you're stopping a lot and second guessing yourself and you can't seem to just get through this part or this scene, word sprint at a write-in, word sprint virtually on Twitter, or do a word sprint by yourself using a program like Write or Die. Word sprints are great. Don't pad your words. I know it's super fun to adopt characters and situations and funny lines and just stick them into your book to boost your word count. The NaNoWriMo forums are really, really fun, but you know what the first thing that you're gonna have to pull out when you start revising? All that stuff. Because it doesn't belong in your book. I cannot tell you how much stuff had to get pulled out of State of Flux because I'd adopted it and just stuck it in there. There might have been a scene where there were a bunch of Hitler impersonators, and I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. I think it was a dare, but I did it, and then I was trying to revise it, and I was like, why is this in here? What's happening? But it's words, you know? It's word count, so you don't want to get rid of it, but like, it shouldn't be there in the first place, you know? So if you find something that someone is saying, like, here, adopt this, and it actually really fits your story and your characterization and all that, then that's great, use it. But otherwise don't, because all you're doing is muddying the waters of what your story is about. Everything that goes into your book needs to have a better reason to be there than, I needed to hit my word count. Remember, word count is the tool that you're using to get yourself a book. It's not the goal. So don't adopt things which don't fit. Don't pad your words with things that don't belong in your novel. Don't free write into your draft. Don't include anything in your word count that isn't your story. Don't cheat, because you're only cheating your future self. Whenever you think about cheating, just imagine your future self stepping out of the time machine of your choice, and they come from the darkest timeline. They're wearing a moustache. They've learned things that you could only dream of. And they're fucking pissed at you. Tip number 3, organize your story notes. I know more pantsers are gonna be crying and lobbing cream pies at my face, but I have done that thing where you just have a big folder full of random notes with everything from the texture of your character's nose hair to like the scene blocking for the finale. And it's a nightmare. It's a headache. I might even go and get my folder to show you. No, you know what? I can't be asked, but just imagine it, okay? Like, it's a folder about this big and it is packed full of sheets of paper that like are in no order whatsoever. How the fuck are you meant to find anything in that? Honestly, no. If you're using a paper folder, get yourself some dividers. If you're doing it digitally, make sure you divide into folders. Separate your character and your setting and your style stuff and your conflict and effects stuff, okay? Just do it. Have your own sections, have your outline separate from that. Have a system and just stick to it. Anything that you don't want in your book shouldn't be in your story bible. Tip number 4, don't let your outline be your prison. Pantsers, you may rejoice. Your outline is not actually a high security 100% plastic prison, and you are not Magneto. It's a map. It's a guide. See something good? You can go off-road. Just make sure you know how you're gonna get back. The point of this is to get the best story, not to bow down to your outline like a faithful monk. Again, your outline is a tool to getting a good story. If you have ideas that aren't in your outline that are gonna get you a better story, then your outline has to fucking step aside and let you begin your magical ritual dance in the moonlight. Tip number 5. Let your prose be rubbish, but not your story. If you've read How to Build a Novel, you will probably recognise this. I'm talking about working on substance and not texture. It is much easier to make an ugly but serviceable paragraph pretty than it is to make a pointless paragraph mean something. It's always better for what you're writing to be ugly rather than pointless. First drafts are where you nail down all the substance. Get the bones out there. You want to have roughly the right characters doing the right things. And it's okay if it all sounds really boring and ugly and you hate your voice. That's what revision and editing are for. As long as relevant things are still happening and your story is still moving forward, you can let your prose suck. Aim for story and not poetry. And luckily, nailing your story is so much easier when you've got an outline, because you've already made all the hard decisions. You do have an outline, right? Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, you found it a bit useful or something or other. This is my first time trying to do Nano as a career novelist, you know, so if you have any tips for me, I would really love to hear them because I'm still learning too. And yeah, let's do this. As always, I'm Rachael Stephen, novelist, YouTuber, Woodland Hellbitch. This is my channel. If you're new here, this is what I do, so maybe subscribe if you would like to continue witnessing what I do. This video is part of a series I'm doing for Preptober, which is a month of preparing for NaNoWriMo in October. It's really good fun, and if you want to find out more, maybe you should head down and join in on that link down there, because it might be fun. So yeah. How about that? I think that's us. Goodbye. Tip number 4. Why is this taking so long? Oh my god. Last time I sat down to shoot, I did 3 videos before fucking 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock maybe. I don't know. This seems like it's taking a long time.
You are so silly. I just moved you around.
Online? And also I'm roasting now. Because I'm wearing a jumper and I'm having tea. Ugh.
You're silly.
I just had like a minor internal crisis about how much I swear. Sorry, this is coconut on my teeth. Oh. Dog baby. Stop. Be out now. Feeling some anxiety in around my chest. I'm not enjoying it, but it's fine. It is what it is. We're gonna keep going. Ooh, something on my phone. I should not have taken my phone through for this. I might just have a wee bounty first. Of general as a whole. You. Whatever the last sentence I said was. Need bounty, but it's not called bounty, cause it's not the same brand. It's little